Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Tinder Swindler show, and we're going to talk about dating and these type of subjects, so slightly different than the norm, but I thought since I live in London and well, I've been on many dates, so I can tell you something about dating and my 5 cents worth of opinion about the Tinder Swindler. And yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. So if you're interested, then please keep on watching. I have my hot chocolate. Actually, this is a very good hot chocolate, which I'm going to have while I'm talking to you. We'll have a little chat. And normally I make videos about perfumes, beauty, fashion, and I like to mix it up, otherwise it's boring. So we're just going to spice it up today a little bit. I hope it's interesting. If not, then obviously you can skip the video and wait for some more perfume videos. So let's start this chat. So this Tinder Swindler show is available. I think everyone is talking about it, and I thought I definitely have a few things to say about this type of situations, because living in London, you have all kinds of people that you are meeting, especially if you're a girl and a half decent looking girl, then definitely you will bump into this type of people that are maybe not a swindler, but maybe more like a wannabe wealthy type of guy who is pretending to be wealthy. There is so many people like this in London. I think many people are having this type of principle that fake it till you make it. So this guy definitely was doing that, and he made apparently quite good money out of it, and he unfortunately hurt many ladies in the meantime, in the process. So first thing I wanted to say is that it is very difficult for some ladies who are single to distinguish which man is genuine and which one is not, because they just pretend very well. So you need definitely some experience to distinguish these people. And definitely big red flags are if someone is showing off with any type of signs, of those flashy signs of wealth, like for example, just like this typical Tinder Swindler type of guy who would just be wearing Gucci jumpers, big flashy watch, and cigars, and this type of look. That is not how the wealthy people look like. So if you ever met any wealthy people, you will see that this is the opposite of how they look like. So this is the perception. I think maybe this is more propagated by the Instagram, that you have to flash the cash, but unfortunately this is not the reality. So reality is that truly wealthy people, they are more into concealing their wealth. They're definitely not wearing these big watches in plain sight. They might be wearing them sometimes, or they might be wearing them in a discreet way, but definitely not showing them on Instagram or anything like that. It's just not how they do it. So same goes with cars and private jets. I think these people who are, well, not all, but many of these people who try to portray this type of image on Instagram or on their whatever social media is the people who just rent out the private jet, or maybe they have a friend who works in the company that is doing the charting for the private jets, and they just rent them out. and doesn't really cost a lot of money, I don't think, as long as, I guess this guy, he was getting other people to pay for it, so I guess it didn't cost him anything personally. So yeah, so this was, let's have a sip of my hot chocolate. By the way, this is the best hot chocolate ever. So yeah, when you are a girl, a lady dating in London, you will definitely see this type of people, and I would say stay away, run as fast as you can, because there's nothing good coming out of it in the future, because these people, if they're not going to scam you, which obviously this one was, a con artist, I guess he still is, I don't know, I think he still is. But other people who are maybe not trying to scam you, but they are trying to fake impress you so that you think they're wealthy, and obviously they trying to get their way, their wicked way with you or something like that. So this is not how anyone should proceed with dating. Genuine people don't do that. They just invite you for a genuine date, something more normal. It's definitely not a last minute private jet flight. However, now that I'm thinking about it, I was actually invited for this type of date with, again, a guy who I would say maybe was genuine in terms of his wealth, but maybe definitely not with his intentions. So just a quick story. This guy I met on one of the dating apps, and he was, let me have some coffee before I continue. So first of all, he was bragging how successful his company was in the lockdown, where I was telling him that most people are suffering, they're losing their jobs, they're losing their houses, the mortgage, they can't pay the rent, etc. So to that, his response was that he's doing extremely well, his company is literally booming, because he is in the financial services, he is doing loans for people or for businesses, so obviously he's thriving. So he had zero compassion for other people, so that was already a big red flag. This is not someone I want to date. But I thought, okay, let's give him a chance and let's see if he's a nice person or not. And then, by the way, he was not wearing any of these Gucci sweaters or anything like that. He was wearing just normal clothes, decently dressed, but nothing too special. It was the summer, so he was just wearing a shirt and just regular clothes, but smart. So anyway, then we met for just a drink, and then we were supposed to meet for dinner the next time. Otherwise, he seemed genuine, he seemed nice and pleasant to talk to, so I thought I'll see what type of dinner date we're going to have, if we're going to get on or not. And also, he mentioned that he has a private jet or private plane. He didn't call it a jet, he said he has a private plane. He showed me pictures. He said that previously, when he met someone online, the second date, they went to Paris to go for a dinner or lunch and to fly with his private plane. So I thought, okay, whatever. So I thought, okay, well, anyway, we're going to meet in London anyway, so it doesn't matter. If he has the private plane, then good for him. Maybe if we're really dating, then maybe one day he can take me, but he already was offering. But I thought, I was trying to calm him down, and I thought, okay, maybe one day in the future, etc. Let's just have a second date first and see what happens. So then we were just supposed to meet in like a week's time for that dinner. He didn't live in London, he lived somewhere, I don't know how far, but maybe 1 hour drive or something like that. And then he occasionally was texting, keeping in touch, and then he mentioned a few times about his plane. So at this point I was just really put off by the fact that he is mentioning the plane all the time. And it seemed like a bargaining chip that he's just trying to impress me with the plane, and I'm really not impressed. Maybe I would be impressed if someone was actually hiding the fact that he has a plane, and then whilst we're dating in the long term, then suddenly he's showing me the plane. So okay, then I would be impressed. But if he's just mentioning that to kind of lure me into the second date, then obviously it's not a good sign. But anyway, so the time of the date comes. It was supposed to be a Saturday evening, and then through the entire day I didn't hear anything from him. And then we were supposed to meet at 7 o'clock, so at 5 I decided to ask him, are we still meeting? Because we did keep in touch throughout the week, so I thought maybe he just, I don't know, another red flag. So anyway, I did text him, are we still on for dinner? Where are we going? And then he says, he didn't give me a specific restaurant, he just told me the area, that we're meeting in a specific area. So I just was like thinking, well, okay, but like where are we meeting? So he didn't suggest any restaurant. So that was another red flag. And then he was, and then on the dating app, you can, because obviously he still had his profile, so you can see on the dating app the distance from the person that you're talking to, right? So sometimes it shows the distance, how many miles they are away. So he was still in his area, so he was still miles away in his place where he lived. So I thought, well, so he's not even driving yet to the dinner, whereas it's like still not that much time left. So at this point he just texted me and he said, well, how about what you're doing tomorrow? So I said, what do you mean? I thought we were meeting today. And he says, maybe tomorrow we're going to take the plane and we're going to fly somewhere for lunch. So basically how I read this was that he was just trying to maybe secure the date with me when he would be having me alone, isolated, because obviously to fly the plane you're not going to fly it from the streets of London, right? You have to go somewhere in his area where he lives and where the plane is waiting, and then we would have to go there, then take the plane, fly somewhere, and then fly back. So obviously that's like a very long second date, and potentially I'm quite sure he would mention that maybe we should it's so late and let's stay the night or something like that. So I think that was his plan. So at this point I said, sorry, but I thought we're meeting for dinner and I'm not really comfortable flying on the plane with someone I just met for one drink before. And that really upset him. He was not happy. And that was pretty much the end of the interaction, because I guess he was just hoping that the thought of the plane would secure him a juicy date with me, which didn't work out, and he wasn't happy at all. So that's my claim to fame when it comes to private planes. And I was not interested whatsoever. So coming back to the actual Tinder Swindler, the the number 2 thing that you have to remember about anyone who is wealthy, they would never ever ask you for money, not even £5, not even £1, because this is not how they do it. And even if for some mysterious reason they would have some liquidity problems, cash flow problems, they have plenty of other people, like maybe family members or maybe business partners, who can lend them money. So this is not how they would operate. They would never take money from just a regular person who is just I'm guessing these ladies were just regular people, maybe had good jobs or something, so they could take these loans. But truly wealthy people would never do that. They have other resources they can use, even if they have some liquidity problems. But yeah, they don't. I mean, not to this extent. So that's of course a red flag. But I guess these ladies, they were in love, they were mesmerized. So yeah. But next thing that you should remember is that another red flag is that when someone is bombarding you with messages, this is something that you can learn from watching videos about narcissists. This is like the number 1 tactic that they use to mesmerize and make the person fall in love. They just bombard you with lots of messages, lots of attention. So some of the women, obviously, maybe they were lonely or something and they didn't get any attention, and yeah, they've fallen for that. And this doesn't have to be someone wealthy, it could be just any person, but too much attention is always a red flag. So if someone you just met is flooding you messages, phone calls non-stop, and professing love and planning the future, which is called future faking, by the way, then yeah, this is bad news. So it's good to educate yourself about narcissism and this type of people, because manipulators, because knowledge is power. So as long as you know their tactics, you know their agenda, then you should be safe from this type of people. And my strategy always is block and delete. As soon as they show this type of tendencies, these people, they don't change, they will never change. So there's no point in trying to change them or hang out with them or anything like that. It's just best to block and delete. So yeah, that's my best advice for this type of people. And yeah, and also when it comes to Tinder, I'm not sure if it's a good place to meet people, to be perfectly honest, no matter of who they are. This is not really an app that breeds genuine behavior, genuine connection, or anything like that. This app is more of a fast food dating type of app. It's not really, which I would say most apps are nowadays, so it doesn't matter how they are called, or apps or websites, it doesn't matter, because it's all the same story where people just want like a quick instant gratification, and it's not really good for anyone's mental health or ego or anything. So I wish the old times were back, when we would just talk in normal life, when men would come up to women, start the chat, or even buy them flowers or something like that. Try to woo them in the old-fashioned way rather than on the app, because that just doesn't really work very well, I don't think. But anyway, let me know your opinion. What do you think about this video? If you like my chats, I hope you do. If you don't, then It's a shame. But anyway, I hope to see you very soon for another video about perfumes or about fashion, or maybe another chat even. So I'll see you very soon, and bye.